Yandra Full Tuesday, November 26. Spoilers. Every relationship has its ups and downs, and the romance between Summer Newman and Kyle Abbott on The Young and the Restless is no exception. Despite being separated for a while, there's no denying the intense attraction between the two, an iconic Genoa City couple. But now, Kyle is spending time with Claire Grace, who has brought a new lease of life into his life. Does that end any hope of a reunion between Kyle and Summer, or is there still a spark between them? Summer Newman and the inner battle. Summer Newman is facing the most difficult time of her life. Phyllis Summers, her strong mother and rock, is fighting every day in the hospital. The pain and helplessness of seeing her mother lying motionless on the hospital bed has left Summer physically and mentally exhausted. In her search for some comfort, she can't help but think of Kyle, who was once her rock in times of weakness. Although they're no longer a couple, the deep bond between Summer and Kyle has never truly faded. The accidental glances, the thoughtful moments when they stand close to each other, all prove that love still sparkles, waiting for a chance to ignite again. Kyle Abbott, a man who has always been torn between duty and emotion, is now facing a dilemma. He has built a hopeful relationship with Claire Grace, a woman who brings peace and maturity to his otherwise chaotic life. Claire is not only a new companion but also a bright spot that Kyle feels he can trust. However, when Summer appears in her weakest moment, things begin to get complicated. Kyle can't ignore Summer's pain. During one meeting, he saw her sitting quietly in the corner of a familiar coffee shop, her eyes tired, her thin shoulders trembling. Without hesitation, Kyle approached, placing a warm hand on her shoulder. Summer's eyes looked up, filled with tears and fragile hope. Even though he knew he shouldn't, Kyle couldn't help but care about Summer. He invited her home, made a cup of hot tea, and sat quietly listening to her pour out her heart. Neither of them said much, but the look they exchanged was enough to say it all. That night, they shared a bed, not because of passion, but because of the comfort of someone who used to be their whole world. However, things didn't stop there. The short meetings began to last longer, and every time Kyle saw Summer in pain, he felt his heart being torn apart. Claire, Kyle's current lover, seemed to sense the growing distance between them. But she's not the type of woman who will fight to hold on to a man who's no longer sure of his feelings. Claire, with her gentle beauty and strong soul, wins Kyle over with her calm and sincere demeanor. But as Kyle spends more time with Summer, Claire is forced to face the truth that their relationship may not be strong enough to withstand the storm called the past. Although Claire loves Kyle, she doesn't want to be the woman who holds on to someone who's no longer completely hers. She begins to question whether Kyle's feelings for her are truly strong enough to overcome Summer's shadow. Everyone in Genoa City can sense that something is going on between Summer and Kyle. Although Kyle tries to keep his distance, he ultimately can't help but be drawn back into his emotional relationship with Summer. Their love is like a smoldering fire, extinguished several times, but only needs a gentle breeze to flare up again. But is Kyle willing to give up a stable future with Claire to return to Summer, who has brought him both happiness and pain? Or will he take the easy way out, stay in his comfort zone with Claire and let the past fade into oblivion? Life is rarely simple, and love is even more so. Kyle must make his decision, but perhaps what he really needs is not to choose between Claire and Summer, but to find himself again. Whatever the choice, one thing is certain: the relationship between Summer and Kyle will never truly end. They are destined for each other, but whether they are willing to overcome all obstacles to be together is a whole other story. Kyle cannot deny that the love between him and Summer is something beyond reason. They are not only lovers, but also two perfect pieces of each other. However, he cannot deny that Claire has brought him the peace he has never had. Kyle is facing a big turning point in his life: return to his destined love or continue with a stable relationship? Subscribe to Yonder to update the latest news on our channel.